Hello friends, welcome to C# Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. Now you are watching the final part of the video displaying the model and Modeless dialog. In this video we are going to display the person name form as a model dialog. So in the dialog basics we already learned that when a dialog is displayed as a model dialog, that will block the calling dialog. So that means once this dialog is displayed, you cannot get access to the parent. That means this is the parent which is launching this person name form as a model dialog, and when this dialog is displayed, parent will get disabled. Once you click OK or cancel, and once the dialog goes off, then the control is returned. So once the control is returned, we will read the formatted name. That means here what we are going to do, we will populate a person name field with a formatted information like first name, comma, middle name, comma, last name, like that. So these are all the slide decks from previous 3 parts. First we learned the basics. Then we talked about the interaction between the different forms that acts as a dialog. Then we displayed this about box as a model dialog. So when user clicks about, we displayed this dialog, and we displayed it as a modeless dialog in the previous video. And we also saw how modeless dialog is allowing the focus to the parent. So in the previous part, when we displayed the about box as a modeless dialog, we learned about the form border style. That's the property. Then we learned about the minimize and maximize box. So the same properties are required for model dialog also. For our example, we will use form border style as fixed dialog. So once you set this property, the dialog border will change, and at the same time, when you place your mouse cursor, you won't see this resize option. That means you can't resize the dialog through your dialog edges or form edge. So by default, this will be a free flow one, sizable, and first we need to change that as a fixed dialog. Then to eliminate the minimize and maximize button, we need to set the maximize box. So we need to set maximize box and minimize box to false. So once you do so, then you will see only this button in the dialog title part. So here there will be title. In the right side you will only see this button, and you won't see the minimize and maximize. When we design a dialog, we may have multiple buttons in it. Say for example, there will be multiple field: label, text box, label, combo box, and checkbox. Then some button 1, button 2, OK, and cancel button. So all the buttons will have a property called DialogResult. So all the buttons will have a property called DialogResult. So we can use this property to set a particular button as the dialog result. So for example, once you go to this property of your button, then you can specify whether what kind of result the button will return to the caller. So when we go to demo, that time we will see this, and there are varieties of option like OK, cancel, abort, retrieve, all those stuff. So you can click one button and you can assign what result it will send to the caller. So dialog result OK and cancel. So that's what we are going to set in our demo. Why? Because our demo will have two buttons. One is OK and one is cancel button. For OK button, we access the dialog result property and we will set OK, and for cancel button, we will set dialog result property to cancel. So what happens? So there will be a form, right? This will be our main form. So the main form will call this form as a dialog. So once user clicks OK, what result needs to be sent to the caller? So that's what these buttons specify. So once we set OK to this OK button, that means when user clicks the OK button and when dialog closes, it will return dialog result as OK to the main. So when user clicks cancel, it will return dialog result as cancel to the caller. So that's why in the model dialog, so this is the form and we will change this as a model dialog. And for the button OK and cancel, we access the dialog result property and assign a specific result that needs to be sent to the caller. So OK and cancel. So this is one important property. Then so we already know that Modeless dialog, we will display it using the show method, and model dialog, we will make a call to ShowDialog method. And ShowDialog method return value is decided by this button click and dialog result property. So what it will return to the caller main. So to this dialog itself, we can set some property. Before that, let us say this is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. These are all the property for the button that present in the model dialog. Then we are going to see some property for the dialog itself. AcceptButton and CancelButton property. So this property, if you see AcceptButton, we will assign the OK button, and cancel button, we will assign our cancel button. OK and cancel button. So these are all the property of the form. I mean this form, whatever form we are going to turn it as a model dialog, that form, accept button, and we will select the OK button. Cancel button, we will select the cancel button. So what happens when there is a event handler for OK button? Let's say that's the event handler for OK button, and there is a cancel button, and this is the event handler for it. So what happens when user presses the enter button in the keyboard enter button will invoke this event routine. Similarly, when user clicks the escape button on the keyboard, it will invoke the routine for the cancel. Why? Because we already assigned it, right? As a form, we are displaying this as a model dialog. Accept button, we specify the button 1 so that the keyboard event of enter will hook to the event procedure of OK button. Similarly, cancel button, keyboard key press escape will hook to the event procedure of cancel button. So just by setting this accept and cancel button. All right. So to change the form as a model dialog, so these are all the stuff we need. So we will set the form border style so that user cannot resize it. It's not mandatory, so it's up to you. The dialog usually it is in a fixed size, so sometimes you may have resizable dialog also, but here for our example we are setting border style as a fixed dialog. Then we then we set maximize box and minimize box to false, just to hide the minimize and restore buttons. After that, dialog result, OK and cancel. So we pick two button from our form, and we say that once user clicks this button, send OK to the caller, and once user picks the 2 means for the button 2 we are setting a cancel. Dialog result for specific button. So OK button, what dialog result it should send. Cancel button, what dialog result it should send. Dialog result in the sense the return value for the show dialog. So the main dialog will make a call to this child dialog using the show dialog to display this as a modeless model dialog, right? So that time we can pick two button, OK and cancel, or because a model dialog can have multiple button, we pick OK and cancel button here, two button, and we set dialog result. So you can set any dialog result. Say for example here I set OK and cancel, so dialog result will receive a constant for OK and cancel based on these two property. You can also set yes, no, cancel, abort, retrieve, all those stuff also. You will see that once we go to the demo. Then for the form we set, so this is one change, and finally we set accept and cancel button option for the form to turn it as a model dialog. Now we will go to the code so that we will get more picture. So if you see from our main dialog, we will click the ellipsis button. Ellipsis means that a 3-dot button. Once you click this, it will launch the dialog with a different component, first name, middle name, last name, all those stuff. User will fill that, they click OK, and the result will get populated in a main form on a particular text box which is next to this ellipsis button. And when we display it, we will display in a specific format. This will be a read-only field, and the main form for sure will get the result in a specific format. So that's why in the model dialog we will display a field called person name. It's a private string. Then if you see for the OK button event handler, we are just populating this person name, txt title.text dot, then txt first name.text, some blank space, then a middle name, first name, after that a space, then middle name, comma, finally last name. Some format here we are choosing. That means for example Mr. title, right, Mr. John Joe space some other name, last name, whatever last name that's here. So what's important here is, here we are handling the event routine for OK, and we are populating this person name with some formatted information. Since this is private, we will introduce property, and if you see, since we have only get and there is no set here, that means, and this is public, the property is read only. So user cannot access this person name. Whoever is making use of or calling this dialog, they cannot access the person name directly, but they can access it through a property because it's public. But the property have only the getter version. That means you can only read the property, you cannot set the person name. All right. So here if you see, we haven't handled the cancel button, so we just handled the OK button only. in the OK button we just read the form field 4 text boxes, and using that we collect the user input and we form the name and we assign it here. So this one is from the main form, and if you see, this is our form, right? First we are creating the form, new. Using this we are creating the form, and form name is name DLG, and name DLG dot show dialog, that's what we are calling it. And if you see, once we make a call to show dialog, it will display the dialog. User will display the dialog in the sense this is our dialog, right? And here we will have OK and cancel button, and this will have 4 text boxes. Show dialog will display this. User will fill the content and then they will click OK. So to know whether user clicked OK or cancel, we check DialogResult.OK. So the show dialog will return some constant, and we are comparing that with the DialogResult.OK. Dialog result here is the enumeration, and from enumeration we check OK. If you remember in the previous slide, we pick a button in the dialog, OK button, then we will access its dialog result property. Then for the dialog result property, we assign the property OK. So when we go to form design, you will see the other option. So the other options are like OK, cancel, yes, no, about, retrieve, all those stuff will be there. So we will pick OK, so that when user clicks OK, the dialog will close, show dialog will return, and return value we are comparing it with the OK, right? So for this only, the property dialog result comes into picture. Dialog result property of the button. Similarly for cancel button also we need to set a dialog result. Here we will set OK, here we will set cancel. So that means if user clicked cancel, the name DLG.showDialog, when it is returning, it will return the code for cancel, the constant for cancel. So when you compare that with the DialogResult.cancel, we will get it true. Okay, here we are just checking whether dialog result is OK. That means user clicked OK. If that is the case, name DLG dot full name. And if you see, the property is full name here. This is the property we are accessing here, full name, and that full name is actually a property for the internal member person name. So person name, here we are populating it when we click OK. Alright, so when dialog result is not OK, then we will set a blank. No matter whether user typed something or whatever they did, we doesn't bother. Since they clicked cancel, we set blank here. So this will be our main form. This will be the code in our model dialog. And if you see here, let's say this is a statement 3, which is making use of the show dialog, and this is our model dialog code. So what happens when control comes here, it will make a call to our model dialog. So the code in model dialog will run here. So OK button, cancel, if we handle the cancel button, so those code also can run. But what happens here, it is a blocking call. So the control won't go here like the Modeless dialog, which we already saw in the previous video. So once user clicks OK or cancel, the dialog will get closed and show dialog will return, and we will return to the next piece of code, and we will execute either 4A or 4B. So you see, control comes here, show dialog, dialog is shown, control won't go to the next statement. User will fill the form, they click OK or cancel. Dialog will return back, then the remaining code will get executed. Okay, now it's demo time. Let's go to the demo. Okay, here is our project, and just like how you added the FRM about, the same way you have to add FRM format name. And if you see here, these are all the properties: title label, first name label, middle name label, and the last name label. So you need to assign a text for all these property: title, first name, middle name, and last name. Then just look at the name only: txt title, txt first name, txt first name. So that's the name we are giving for all this control: txt middle name and txt last name. All right, so there is nothing special here for this text box, and whatever property, other property you want to assign, you can assign. Then for OK button, if you see, text is OK, and the important property is dialog result. So dialog result here we are giving it as OK. So that means when user clicks this button, it will send dialog result.OK constant to the show dialog method. So if you want to see the other option, say for example, if I click retrieve, even though the button label is OK here, when user clicks this will send a dialog result.retrieve to the show dialog method. So here we decide what is the return value of the show dialog when user clicks this button and closes this dialog. So the dialog box result produced in a model form by clicking the button. So dialog result in the sense the return value of the show dialog from wherever you are calling this dialog. The show dialog will return right once the dialog is closed. So what value it will return back to the caller. So that's what here we are deciding. So here I'm choosing OK. Since the label is OK, it makes sense to pick OK as the dialog result, and for this we are choosing a dialog result as cancel. So button property of this model dialog. Then for the dialog itself, if you see accept button, here we are picking btn OK. So accept button in the sense once you hit the enter key, it will invoke the event routine for OK. That means it's almost equivalent to clicking this OK button. So the user can either click OK button or they can click enter in the keyboard. Similarly, for cancel button, we specify our btn cancel. So once you click this combo box, it will show all the button that is present in this form. So you have to choose which one is the cancel button among all the displayed buttons. So this cancel button event routine will get invoked when user presses the escape key. So when user presses the enter key in the keyboard or when they hit the escape button, in both the cases the dialog will get dismissed. Alright, now we will go to the code for this form. So inside the class we will declare a member, then we have a property getter for this person name. Okay, should be inside the class, property of this class, and Here we access the internal member. Then for OK button, we are handling the click event, or you can even double click. By default it will pick that click event, and you can see that here as well. BTN click is automatically picked for us. And here we are filling our person name based on the field here. TXT title, first name, middle name, and last name, and we are just formatting that here. Alright, so that's all the code here on the dialog. Now we have to go to our main form. So in the Solution Explorer, I'm clicking our main form, and we need to launch the dialog when a user clicks this button, BTN name, and we need to populate this read-only field. So read-only, we already set it to true. Okay, here also I'm doing a double click. So this is where we will implement calling the model dialog. So the dialog is ready here. We set all the required property. Now at runtime we need to create the form and make a call to ShowDialog. That's all. So the code is already explained in the slide. You can also download these code snippets from the video description. Now we will go ahead and run this example. For visibility purpose, I'm opening a notepad. Okay, so to display the background clearly, I opened a notepad and displayed this form. Now let us click this ellipsis button, and you can see that it displays the FRM format name as a model dialog. So once this dialog is displayed as a model dialog, and you can see I'm not able to access this, and this one also flashes stating that you cannot access the parent. So once I choose OK or cancel, then the control will resume back. But about box is not like that. Since it is a Modeless, and if you see, I accessed the Modeless dialog, and I can even access multiple. Why? Because it's not a blocking call, right? So that's how it is. And now I can access the model dialog also. And once model dialog is displayed, and if you see, I cannot touch anything. The control stays here only. Alright, now let me click cancel and close all this about dialog. Now let's invoke the model dialog and type and once I click OK, you can see how the formatted name is displayed here. Also, one more stuff what you have to notice here is once the model dialog is displayed, we don't have access to the parent. And if you see, this one is blinking and it is not allowing us to edit the called one. So now let's change the name ABC 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, and this time instead of clicking OK, I'm hitting the enter. So you can see how it invoked the OK button event handler. Now let's type something, and this time I'm going to press the escape key. So now it will set blank since we cancelled it. that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.